Ocho Joe, Kevin Stefanski says Shedeur Sanders is not getting any first-team reps like Dylan Gabriel, like Dylan Gabriel did when Joe Flacco was the starter. Stefanski said it's because Gabriel being young, you want to make sure he's getting a lot of reps. It's different when you have a vet like Joe.
Some number one reps. Is that true with Shedeur?
No. I mean, with a young quarterback with Dylan starting, you want to make sure he gets a lot of the reps. Different when you have a veteran like Joe, I would tell you, Tony.
Cleveland's tension is off the charts right now. The vibe inside that Browns facility feels thick enough to cut with a knife. The moment Kevin Stefanski announced that Shedeur Sanders would get 0 first-team reps, the whole room flipped. No polite silence, just shock and disbelief. People weren't whispering. They were fuming. It didn't sound like a coaching decision. It sounded like a statement, like someone trying to send a warning shot that his growth might be slowed down on purpose. Players looked around in confusion, like, did he really just say that? Something deep is cracked inside that locker room. You can hear the frustration in every voice. This isn't noise, it's a straight-up alarm.
Hell nah, you know that ain't normal protocol. You should be doing the same exact thing you were doing with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Now, if Dylan Gabriel is starting, you should be doing the same thing you were doing with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco with goddamn Shedeur. It's a bunch of trash, and all that is telling me is that Shedeur is not closer to getting the starting job until Dylan Gabriel shows that he just can't get the job done. And that's why I say they're probably maybe towards the end of the season, maybe last 3 weeks. Dylan Gabriel, at some point, teams are going to force him. You're going to have to beat us with your arm.
If you're riding with Shedeur, drop that SS 100% in the comments and hit that like button. Because what's happening here feels bigger than football. It feels personal. Stefanski tried to explain himself, saying Dylan Gabriel is young and needs more work, while veterans like Flacco don't need as many snaps. But come on, that logic don't add up. He's been around long enough to know that real development doesn't work like that. It's about consistency and fairness. If you did one thing for Flacco and Gabriel, you do the same for Shedeur. Keep the process real. Keep the energy balanced. That's how you build trust inside a team. What started as a debate about reps turned into a fight for respect. The message was loud. Shedeur isn't close to the starting job in their eyes. He's stuck in the waiting zone, watching Gabriel get all the shine while he just waits for a mistake. But waiting in the NFL is dangerous. It kills rhythm, crushes confidence, and can ruin a season before it begins. Every practice is 10 plays per set, offense then defense, reset, repeat. And somehow, in all that action, you're telling me Shedeur can't even get one snap?
Hell nah, you know that ain't normal protocol. You should be doing the same exact thing you were doing with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Now, if Dylan Gabriel is starting, you should be doing the same thing you were doing with Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco with goddamn Shedeur. It's a bunch of trash, and all that is telling me is that Shedeur is not closer to getting the starting job until Dylan Gabriel shows that he just can't get the job done. And that's why I say they're probably maybe towards the end of the season, maybe last 3 weeks. Dylan Gabriel, at some point, teams are going to force him. You're going to have to beat us with your arm.
Not even one snap, not a single throw, not one handoff, not even a basic quick slant to test rhythm. That's what's making people lose it. Because in the league, 1 or 2 plays matter. One clean handoff builds trust. One sharp slant builds timing. That's how chemistry forms between a QB and his first-team offense. It's about familiarity, cadence, and real-time connection with the main squad. You can't fake that running with the backups. The 2s and 3s don't move the same. Their routes break off different. Their protection calls drag. Their tempo's off. It doesn't matter how gifted a quarterback is. If he hasn't synced up with the starters, his first real game's gonna feel like chaos. Fans are asking the same question everyone in that building's whispering. How can Shedeur not get even 1 or 2 reps with the ones? This isn't some random rookie. They're talking about Shedeur Sanders.
We're not going to allow QJ to run up and down the field. They're going to stack 9 in the box. You're going to have to prove that you can beat us with your arm. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think, look, everywhere I've been, even when we had veteran quarterbacks or whatever, he get 1 or 2 reps. I ain't know. Obviously, normally, I don't know how it was, but we had 10 plays. We ran 10 plays per period. Offense got 10, defense got 10.
Right.
Offense got 10, defense got 10. Okay, special teams, do what they do, whether it was punt return, kick return, whatever the case may be. And then guess what, Ocho? Another 10, another 10, another 10, number 10, so forth and so on. But you mean to tell me Shedeur can't get 1 rep, 2 reps with the starters?
I mean,
out of 10 reps, he can't get 1.
He calls it out in plain words. You mean to tell...
The man's got NFL blood in his veins. He's disciplined, composed, and has already shown leadership way beyond his age. He's built for lights, pressure, and big stages. But how can he be ready if he's never allowed to move with the real offense? Then attention shifts to Dillon Gabriel's side of the room. Giving him every single rep doesn't just build him up. It gives him comfort, the kind that makes players relax too early. That's dangerous. In the NFL, comfort kills. Pressure sharpens. When a QB feels too safe, the competition dies. And with it goes the hunger that keeps a roster fierce. Stefanski's plan to protect Gabriel by loading him with reps sounds cautious, but in reality, it's soft. It's short-sighted, because this isn't just about growing one QB. It's about preparing a whole team for chaos. Every vet knows that saying, "This is the NFL." Bro, you're one play away. One awkward twist, one big hit to the ribs, one bad drive. And suddenly, Shedeur's thrown into the fire without ever getting a real rep with the first team. That's not smart development. That's a preventable disaster. Then the talk turns to speed. Ocho called it out plain. The NFL moves at warp speed. College felt quick, practice feels quick, but Sunday, that's a different beast. From the sideline, it looks calm. Step into that pocket, and it hits like lightning. Windows shrink, reads blur. The whole field spins faster than your instincts can keep up.
What would that do, Unc? That would be wasting time. Getting 1 or 2 reps with the starter is wasting time. And obviously, on Stefanski's side, also, it can give Dillon Gabriel some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of security. Mm-hmm. Okay, my job is not in jeopardy. I'm not playing as well as I think I should be playing. So I'm getting all the reps to make sure that those reps actually count in practice. And once I get into the games, I'm familiar with those.
And when you strip away the yelling and the drama, the message cuts deep. They're exposing how coaching politics can quietly shape or stall a career. Giving Shedeur 0 reps isn't about saving time. It's about making a statement. It screams, "We don't believe you're ready." And here's the question that blows Stefanski's whole logic apart. How does a player ever get ready if he's never allowed to take that step? Veterans like Ocho and Unc have seen this movie too many times. Young talent fading out. Not because they can't play, but because the coaching staff never gives them the real investment. Reps ain't just routine. They're trust in motion. Without them, you're guessing in live action, instead of reacting with confidence. That's what makes this situation so frustrating. Shedeur doesn't need any special treatment. He's not asking for a new playbook or fancy schemes. All he needs is a fair shot, a chance to practice with the people he's supposed to lead. That's how real teams operate. When a franchise believes in a young QB, they give him situational reps early, even behind a starter. Look at Green Bay. Jordan Love was still getting first-team looks, while Aaron Rodgers ran the show. They kept him ready. Or look at Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick, no hype. But the 49ers made sure he stayed sharp and synced with the starters. That's the difference between good coaching and blind loyalty to one guy. Real coaches protect the locker room's balance before protecting their own pride. Stefanski might think he's shielding Gabriel's confidence, but in reality, he's slowing down the growth of the entire roster. Because what happens when Gabriel struggles? What happens when those early 3-and-outs turn into whole halves of bad football? Then suddenly Shedeur's thrown in cold, with no live chemistry with Amari Cooper, no timing with the first-team line. And that's not just a game lost. That's months of preparation wasted in one night. They've seen it before. Backup QBs getting tossed in the fire without a runway. It's not fair to the player, not fair to the locker room, and definitely not fair to the fans expecting a team that's ready for anything. That's what the real pros know. Having a veteran like Joe Flacco on the roster doesn't mean the rest of the offense stops developing. Veterans are there to teach and guide, not to hoard every rep like trophies. The best coaches rotate snaps with intention. They keep the whole depth chart active, the whole squad warm and battle-ready. That's how you build a program that can survive a storm, not just ride out sunshine. So when people say Shedeur doesn't need reps because Gabriel needs them more, they're missing the point entirely. This isn't college anymore. This is the NFL. Every position, every job, every heartbeat on that field is one play away from change. Balance isn't optional, it's everything. Ocho broke it down in the simplest, realest way. Let Shedeur touch the field, even if it's just a handoff. Let him line up behind that first-team offensive line, feel their rhythm, catch their cadence. That's not favoritism, that's football IQ. That's how pros prepare for real Sundays. Shedeur Sanders isn't some random prospect. He's walking with the weight of legacy. The name, the expectations, and the constant spotlight that burns a little hotter for him than most. Every snap he takes, or doesn't take, shapes how the entire league sees him. So when the Browns freeze him out of first-team reps, that silence speaks volumes. It sends a message to the locker room, to the media, to the fans, that he's not close to competing. And that's dangerous, because once that label sticks, it's almost impossible to peel off. That's how talented players get boxed in, tagged as projects, written off as not ready, when all they ever needed was a fair shot. Ocho and Unc see it clearly. They've lived it. They're fighting that same system in real time, trying to stop another young QB from being buried by safe coaching. Their message to Kevin Stefanski couldn't be clearer. Stop overthinking it. Let the kid play. Give him a handful of snaps with the starters every session. Let him run the huddle, feel the pace, and grow into the chaos. That's how confidence gets built. Through reps, not theory. Keep him ready now, because that one moment will come. And when it does, if he's unprepared, there won't be anyone to blame except the staff that chose comfort over preparation. The NFL doesn't wait for slow plans or cautious coaches. It punishes hesitation. Rookies don't have time for bubble wrap. They learn by surviving live fire. Sheltering a young quarterback behind walls doesn't protect him. It hurts him. It hurts the team. It wastes time you can't get back. What's happening in Cleveland feels like part of a bigger league-wide pattern, where development has become code for protecting decisions instead of building real competitors. Coaches talk about patience like it's progress, but most of the time, it's about protecting their reputation. The great organizations don't do that. They trust their depth, and they prove it every year. Kansas City trusts its depth. San Francisco trusts its depth. Baltimore trusts its depth. Those teams don't hide talent. They feed it reps, sharpen it through pressure, and let competition create stars. Because in the NFL, everyone in the building knows. Your number can be called at any moment. That's how you survive injuries, losing streaks, and chaos. You stay ready through reps, through competition, through trust. That's how you keep a real culture alive. But right now, Cleveland looks like it's playing scared. Scared to let young fire touch the field. Scared to shake up the QB room. Scared to make that bold call that could actually change the franchise. But here's the truth. Football doesn't reward fear. It rewards preparation and confidence. Every vet knows that deep down, even if they won't say it on camera. Some coaches pick comfort over competition, and that kills growth before it even starts. Shedeur Sanders deserves more than clipboard duty. He deserves the chance to grow under real pressure. He shouldn't just be out there running scout team plays. He should be out there feeling the pocket with the ones, throwing to the timing of the starters, building chemistry with the real offense. That's how you build a future QB. That's how you protect your season before disaster hits. You don't prepare for January football by playing it safe. You prepare by doing. Until Kevin Stefanski figures that out, Cleveland's gonna keep spinning in circles. Another year of what-ifs. Another year of almost. You don't win in this league by hiding behind caution. You win by facing what's coming. And what's coming might be that unexpected moment. One big hit on Gabriel. One cold divisional game. One spark that forces a change. When that door finally swings open for Shedeur, it's either going to reveal a quarterback built through reps, or a player the staff left unprepared. And if that happens, Cleveland will have no one to blame but themselves. So if you're feeling this breakdown, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because this is football the way it should be talked about. Raw, honest, real. And if the Browns don't start listening soon, they might regret it the day Shedeur's number finally gets called.